and support the men who preach the gospel. Say, Dansby, you got on a nice suit. It's not a cheap one, and you're not driving a cheap car. But you see my glory. But you don't know my story. When me and my wife got married, my mother signed for me, and my auntie signed for her because her mother wasn't in town. Then my auntie lent me $3 for the marriage license. My mama paid to have us a real nice wedding, and my sister gave us enough money to go to Dallas for a couple of days. You see, God is able. This is not all about me. In its proper context right here, this verse is not written to everyone. It's not written to the selfish folk, but to the sacrificial. Those involved in meeting the needs of others, and those who get behind a cause and back it all the way, that have a purpose. They have a purpose larger than themselves. And then this is the way I like it. He said there in 4:19, but my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. That's what we've got to learn. Paul said, my God. Paul had a personal relationship because he said, my God. He called God here, my God, to imply that God would reward his servants by fully supplying. This literally means fill to the full of their every need. Even as the church in Philippi fully supported his needs there, Paul is saying that God will repay you. I can't pay you back. But while I can't pay you for what you've done and for what you will do, Paul is saying, my God will. You see, God is our source. No one but God could persuade even me to preach the gospel. I wasn't intended to be a preacher. I went to school. While I was in the Air Force, I was going to Dallas and going to business and make me some money, boy. You know what I mean? That wasn't in the car. Preaching the gospel because one man stood up and cried because I was getting ready to leave. The preacher died. I was helping him out. Frank Cecil Brown died. And so I started preaching there. Brother Elijah Gills, when I told him I was quitting and leaving, he started crying. He said, don't you know you Joshua? Come on, Joshua. So here Joshua stands. No one but God could persuade a man to go into the poor pit without adequate means to take care of his family. God tried to get me to quit in 1964. I won the speech award at the NCO Academy. And he tried to get me to quit and become a preacher. I said, no. I was in Waco, Texas, James Conley Air Force Base. He said, man, you fishing for your dinner. You don't have no insurance for your children, and you want me to quit? Not now. Because you see, my faith wasn't as good as him. He said, my God, he said, we'll meet. You see, God is always on time. He doesn't say might meet. He doesn't say, he said, we'll meet. God's ways are not our ways, but if we trust him, he will meet our needs. God will continue to meet the needs of his servants, and he does it through the church of Christ. Well, I know the economy is in a downward spiral right now, and many of us are afraid to give. But my God, don't worry about the president. Don't worry about Mr. Boehner and all those folks up there. God will supply. Your contribution was down in Russell Road for the year. But then somebody came the other day and secretary called me and said, was somebody giving a $30,000 check? I said, what? He said, thank the Lord. And over to the church. Brought it over to the church. The secretary said, it wasn't for $30,000, Brother Dan. I said, what was it for? She said, 35. I said, tell her we'll wait till tomorrow. See, God will supply. Let me tell you something. God will not supply if you're not giving away something. If you're stingy, God is not going to give you anything. Because God gives to us, and we might give to other folks. All your needs. All right, I get it. All your needs. He didn't say some needs. He said all needs. There's nothing too small or too great for God. He will meet all your needs, that you may meet the needs of other folks. Conflict, riches, and glory. You see, Psalm 50 says, every beast belongs to him. Cattle on 1,000 hills belong to him. All the fowls of the mountains and the wild beasts, everything belongs to God. So you know he'll meet your need and supply. Tonight, we all ought to cry out, Lord, all that I have, all that I am, all that I shall ever be, I surrender to you. But God is right on time, all of the time. No, I'm going to cut it short, but I just want to testify for a minute. The Israelites thought that they were abundant, had been abandoned by God. But the Israelites walked across the Red Sea on dry ground while Pharaoh's army got drowned. And then I know he'll supply. The 3 Hebrew boys that were delivered from the fiery furnace, they heated it up so hot 7 times. Is that what it said? That it killed the folks who threw them in there. But the boys, the 3 Hebrew boys, were just strutting around in that fire. And somebody at the king said, see who's in there. They looked down there. They said, behold, didn't we throw 3 in there? He said, yeah, O king. He said, behold, I see 4, and the 4th one looks like us. I tell you, God will supply all your needs. Let me tell you something about myself. I have one daughter. Her name is John. They called us one Monday, I believe it was. They told them they had to perform emergency surgery on Jarlin because she had cancer in both breasts. They were going to do a mastectomy. Me and my wife went out on the patio, joined hands, and started praying. By the time we got over there, the doctor that was going to do the surgery was a member of the Greenville Avenue Church of Christ and told the other doctor, get a biopsy because I want to see what I'm working with. We kept on praying. It just so happened that there was a Japanese pathologist, and as he examined it, he said, this ain't cancer. This is something that Asian women have. It was named for the 2 doctors, Chemo Kumadai or something like that. way too late sometimes, but not so with God. But there is no late with God. He is never too busy to hear your call. He's never in a hurry that he cannot meet your need. He's always right on time. How many of you know tonight that he may not come when you want him? I said, God has not answered my prayer. And sometimes we fail to understand that God has not committed himself to our time. We need to understand that God knows just what he's doing. God is always, his ways are always above our ways. And we need to see clearly that God is working out his purpose in our lives. And it's his plan for us that's important. God is not here to cater to us. But we're here to fulfill the will of God in our lives. And that's what us preachers need to understand. We are here to fulfill the will of God, no matter how we are treated. I mean, after all, ain't nobody come after me to behead me lately. Then they stone a preacher to death while Paul held his garments. Ain't nobody threw no rocks at me lately. Ain't nobody throwing no rocks at you either. It's a stone. It hurts my bones, but words will never fade. So, you know, sometimes our memory is short sometimes. We forget what God has done for us yesterday. So let me encourage you never to quit. Sound preachers are needed now more than ever before if God is depending on you and me. And if we don't build up the church, who will? If we tear down, folks are saying, I don't want to go there. And then if you go there and nobody saying amen or thank you, Lord, or nothing like that, they say, ain't nothing in here but a bunch of dead folks. I want to be around dead folks. There's still some enemies out there. Some even among us who would like to see failure, but God gives us the strength to keep on climbing. Let me close tonight by reminding everyone that God is greater than Satan. Satan is telling you you're going to lose, but God is telling you you're going to win. Satan